All right, good morning, everybody. How are you doing? All right, we're going to get started here in just a few minutes. I have to let a few people in. I have to get our expert guests in today. It's Andrea Riggs, who's our expert guru in fitness. I'm going to open up the chat box. You open up yours too, because I want to talk to you, and I want you to talk to me as well. How's everybody feeling today? First, put that into the chat box and let me know that you can hear me and that you're feeling okay or that you're not feeling so okay. And if you're not feeling so okay, let us know why. And then let's see if we can dissect it a little bit and fix it. All right. All righty. Let's see here now. Let's see. I have to manually let people in. Okay. All righty. Glad to see a lot of the old folks back. So a lot of the questions I'm going to be asking you guys, y'all already know the answers. So that's a good thing to start. All right. So everybody's feeling great. Somebody says that they're mid because they're feeling too fat. We're going to correct that problem. Not to worry. One way or the other, we're going to get that problem taken care of. Good morning. I'm feeling great. Good morning. I'm feeling great. Good morning. I'm feeling good. Happy Saturday. I'm feeling okay. Feeling okay. All right. What's the difference between feeling great and feeling okay? All right. Let's see here. Let's take a look and see. Let's see, Andrea, I need to find you and make. So we have a little different protocol that we're going to start now. So what we're going to do now is about 5 to 7 minutes just to kind of get everybody warmed up because I'm pretty sure at this hour, well, I'm gonna say I'm pretty sure, but y'all tell me. At this hour, you haven't exercised yet. I know I haven't, but I will today. I will do a combination of things. I'll do 20 minutes of walking, and I'm gonna do some resistance training as well. Hopefully, you guys will go ahead and get started as well. But to get us motivated, we've got our routine guest speaker from now on. It's gonna be Miss Andrea Riggs, and she's gonna be starting us off with about 5 to 7 minutes of just kind of getting warmed up. Then I'm going to talk for less time, and and then we're going to give her the rest of the floor so that we can focus this month and next month on primarily what exercises we need to do because we're in cold winter months and it's going to be a little difficult to find the time and the place and the equipment to exercise. So we're going to need some assistance with that because exercise is extremely important. This whole process is about fiber, fitness, and fasting. Okay. The fiber part we're going to be talking about as far as what we're going to put into our mouths, what are we not going to put into our mouths. We're not going to put you in food jail, but we are going to restrict some of the things that you put into your mouths. Then the fasting part. All right. The fasting part is a part of the protocol that we just have to follow. And the reason I say we have to follow is that the body has cellular metabolism, and that metabolism creates byproducts. And that byproducts is toxic. That byproducts is junk. It's sort of like when you eat food, it goes through the intestinal tract, and some of it comes out the other end. That part that comes out the other end, we don't need. That's the junk. But guess what? We got to get it out, right? The same thing happens to our body, and it doesn't necessarily all come out through our intestinal tract. What we put in our mouth comes out of our intestinal tract, but a lot of the stuff gets absorbed into our system through our liver and our blood system, and it does this thing with the mitochondria and the cellular structure. Well, that stuff can't go back into the intestinal tract and come out through the poo-poo, so it has to come out some kind of way. We call that autophagy, taking out the trash of our body. It has to happen, just like you got to have a bowel movement. So that's the other part. The fasting part causes that to happen. Why? Fasting only occurs after about 14 hours of not eating. And the reason that it occurs along with that not eating part is because the insulin level is low. Okay, and we'll get into that in a second. All right. And then just as equally as important as the other two is the fitness part. Because we've got to generate new mitochondria. We've got to generate new muscle mass, new muscle strength. Because as we age, trust me, I'm older than anybody here. As we age, that stuff we tend to lose. You'll know the saying, if you don't use it, you lose it. And what happens is that we don't want to find out that we've lost too much too late. Because if we do find out too late, then it's going to be hard to get it back. All right. So let me go back. Let's see. I have three panelists. Let me see. Um, Make sure. I'm going to go along here. I'm going to let some other people in for a second. So bear with me for a second. Go ahead and get your cup of coffee or your cup of green tea or whatever you have your cup of, and I'll be right with you. Um, and Yeah, somebody says that their slides being shown. I can't see them. I'm not showing them just yet, but I will be. I got a good old friend here. Oh, RD is here, and hadn't heard or seen him for a long time. I think that's good old Oklahoma friend of mine. All right, Andrea, I'm looking on the guest list here, and I don't see your name. You may want to just kind of text me on the other side if you're having trouble getting in, but let me know, okay? Because I'm going to start this with and let me ask you guys a question. Are you guys ready to get it warmed up just a little bit? You got to say yes to that, okay? Please say yes to that. All right, let me just kind of text her. See here. Oh, okay. Let's see here. Okay. She says she's on. All right. So anyway, I'll continue until I can figure out how to find her. All right. So let's see. Let's see. Andrews. I am gonna start sharing my slides, and if I see her, I'll bring her in. So is is DW here? One of my good old other friends from Oklahoma. Is DW here? Or is VD here? One of my other good friends. Okay. Hold on just a second, ladies. I'm going to put you on because, again, this is an important part. Let me see. We got to get her. Otherwise, you're going to exercise with me. So anyway, I was prepared for it because I know she's going to ask for this weight. Now, this actually this weight is a little heavy. This is 15 pounds. And when she comes on, she's going to ask us to do some resistance training and some with our chairs and all that stuff. We got to figure out uh, what kind of weight you can start with. All right. All right. So it says that everybody is ready to start exercising. So let me make sure that she is here. Andrea, if you are here, just go ahead and give me a call on my phone so I can figure out a way that you may have a trouble getting into the webinar. All righty. Okay, so she's just written me a letter, so she's getting on now. All right, so I'm going to show you a couple of studies. My portion is not going to be that long. I'm just going to kind of reiterate some of the other things. Just put it in the chat box right now what you guys may be struggling with your knowledge base, not necessarily your own personal history, but what it is that you want to know. Do you want to know why you're regaining weight if you are regaining weight? Do you want to know what type of foods that you need to eat? Is there a particular way you want to eat them? Um, do you want to know if there are certain foods you need to stay away from? We have changed our methodology a little bit, and we changed it primarily because I found a new way that I can take you out of food jail. I call food jail because remember when we first started this thing, I knew that after surgery that we would get back into our old habits by eating potato chips, macaroni and cheese, rice, all of the things that you grew up, all the food staples that you grew up with. Unfortunately, I had to take them away from you because a lot of the patients, 20 to 30 to 40% of the patients were coming back with weight regain. And there's no question about it that we know the anatomy and the physiology of bariatric surgery. You got to realize that carbohydrates, certain carbohydrates, lead to fat. Okay. All right. All right. I'll go ahead and try to enable that. Let's see. All right. So, so the weight regain part is indeed promoted by carbohydrates, mostly refined carbohydrates. And then we talked about seed oils. We won't get into all of that today because we don't have time. I'm going to try to restrict this to just an hour. All right. So the main thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a brief video, a video that basically I've gotten to done the research on and showed you about all the fiber and why fiber is important. So when we talk about fiber, fasting, and fitness, these are the things we're going to be discussing that have to be done in sequence in order for us to get going. So you can see here, Andrea's here. So Andrea, what we're going to do, I'm going to I'm going to basically go ahead and see if I can go ahead and introduce you. I'm going to share my slides here if I can. Put my glasses on first. And so everybody should be able to see the slides, hopefully. And I'll put them in slide mode. All right. So we're talking about continue share. All right. Fiber, fatness, and fitness. The expert guru is personal trainer, Miss Andrea Riggs. Everybody in the chat here, give her a round of applause. And what we're going to do is just to kind of get going, and then I'm going to go ahead and give a talk. And then towards after I give this little 15-minute discussion, then we'll bring her back to finish our exercise. All right, Andrea, you can take care of it.
All righty. Hey, Dr. Titus, how you doing today?
Doing great. I'm going to do
Good,
great.
good,
Thank you.
good. Good, good, good. Well, I'm so excited to be here. Andrea Riggs here, Get Body Beautiful personal trainer. And literally to jump in on the fitness piece is the one of these components that you can't do without, right? So we're going to get started today really quickly with just a quick warm up. And the reality is that what we're trying to do is we're just trying to wake everybody up, make sure that your muscles have good blood supply, raise your body temperature, get your flexibility going. And ultimately what we're trying to do is just raise your heart rate. So by the time we get going, your body's prepared for the little bit of stress we're going to put on the body, right? You got to put a little stress on the body for it to improve. So we're going to start this morning really just head to toe. If you're seated, stay seated. And I want you to actually just start with just very easy neck rotations where you're going to go from left to right. And all we're trying to do is just wake up your muscles. I want you to go left to right, and I want you to go around the world with that for me. Yes, just like that. Just like that. Again, we're just doing a quick warm up before we get into the fitness on the backside of today. So take those arm circles all the way around, okay? What I want you to do is now you're at center, and I want you to put your hands right on your shoulders, okay? Right on your shoulders, and I want you to actually just bring them together. And again, the key here is just to warm up your muscles. We're going to do fitness that everybody can do, right? I always say the fitness you do is the one you do, and so we're all going to do it. So now we're just warming up your upper body a little bit. This is where you can breathe in, blow it out. Just a few minutes again. We're just trying to open up those blood vessels, get your heart pumping. Now, I want you to take your arm straight out for me, as wide as you can. Now, all I want you to do is I want you to rotate around. Rotate around and twist. So we started at the head. Now we're at the shoulders, starting to warm up your arms, getting your midsection involved. Perfect. Good job. Good job. So I want you to kind of shake that out. And if you're seated, this is where now we want to just stand up. Now, trying to wake up the legs a little bit. Everybody doing okay? Good morning. So we did the head, the shoulders. Now we're at our torso. And I want you to just bend at the waist. Bend at the waist. Deep breath in. Blow it out and bend. Yes. There you go. Good job. Good job. Good job. So now that we've got head, shoulders, abs, I want you to put your hands on your hips, and we dip, right? Right. So I want you to give yourself a little room, hands on your hips, and I just want you to act like you're sitting in your chair. Just act like you're sitting in your chair, nice and tall, pushing out through your glutes. Weight is on your heels. There you go. Good job. I want you to give me a dip, and I just want you to hold it for a second. Deep breath in. Blow it out. Good job. We're going to do 2 more of those. Deep breath in. Give me 1 more of those. This last one, because you're getting a little warmed up now, I want you to see if you can take your hands up and then come on up for me. There you go. So now you got your hands up, and now I want you to just come straight to the ground like you're going to try to touch your toes as close as you can. If you can't touch your toes, don't worry about it. I just want you to come all the way down like you're touching your toes. Come all the way back up. Stretch up as tall as you can. Come down and touch your toes. I want you to touch your right toe. Both hands on your right toe, and I just want you to roll up like you're coming up around the world, right to the center. It's like that. And then reach. Now I want you to stretch to your left toe. Stretch it. And then I want you to roll it back like you're coming to the center. Stretch to the ceiling. Walk your feet in like you're doing some marches. Nice and slow. Yep. Couple of those. Standing straight up. Deep breath in. Drop it. There you go. What we're trying to do is just get that heart rate ready, head to toe, you warmed up. Get them what they need to know so we can get back and get that body working, all right?
Okay, sounds good. Let me catch my breath for a second. All right. So anyway, that's how we're gonna go ahead and get started. And she's gonna come back with some after I give you the information that I want to give you today. All right, so let me just kind of check the chat box and make sure that nobody has any questions. All righty. How did everybody like that? Did everybody like that warm up that we gave them?
Yeah,
Tell me if you did or did. You dig? I dip, we dip. All right, sounds good. Sounds good. All righty. Now, so fiber fasting and fitness. So there's a method to the madness. Basically, what I'm trying to teach you all is the things that give you a little bit of an edge, because a lot of the things that we don't know. We just don't know. So, so what I have to do is to empower you because unfortunately, when we go to our doctors and we think that the doctors are the ones that are taking care of us, they are, they're, there are doctors that are taking care of you, but for the majority of people right now, with the way that medicine is, we're not trained to take you care of you in the way of helping you prevent disease. The way we're really supposed to take care of you is to keep you out of trouble, is to keep you out of problems. But we've been trained, unfortunately, to wait till you get a problem, wait till you get diabetes or hypertension or sleep apnea or dementia, and say, okay, fine, you got this. And so we're great at diagnosing problems. And then the second thing we're going to do is get out a little pencil and paper, and we're going to write you a prescription for it. And that's just the wrong way to do it. As time has gone on, fortunately, a lot of physicians are pivoting to where we're talking about prevention. Unfortunately, not a lot of physicians are going down that road, not as many as we'd like. So, the whole purpose of this channel is for you to take control of your own lives. You can take control of your own health, primarily because by the time you have to start seeing your physician and you start getting prescriptions, you're going down a tunnel that we don't want you to go down because those prescriptions are primarily for just to treat your problems. It's not getting to the root of the problem. It is not getting the problem taken care of. It's basically making the big pharma companies richer. Primarily because their goal is to get the doctor to write the prescription and you're on the prescription for the rest of your lives. Most of you are probably who are taking blood pressure medicine, probably think that you're supposed to take that blood pressure medicine for the rest of your lives. I would be willing to bet you that at least 90% of the people here who are taking blood pressure medicine were never told that the blood pressure medicine was a temporary fix and that you had to do certain other things in order to get off the blood pressure medicine. Most of the people who are put on diabetic medicines were never told this is a temporary fix. Until we do these few things, then we'll bring you off the diabetic medicines. Chances are you weren't told that. For my own edification, just to make sure that I'm not talking out of the side of my mouth, how many of you guys who are on medication were told if their blood pressure medicine, dementia medicines, obesity medicines, or diabetic medicines, how many of you told that that was just a temporary medicine and that they would help you to get that medicine uh, to where you wouldn't have to take it the rest of your lives? How many of you were told that? All right. Nope, nobody got any information on that. That's the goal, is that medicines are one of those things that unfortunately we found that they have side effects. And those side effects basically are things that affect us in the long term. So we're never going to live to our optimum health if we're on medicines because just the side effects themselves can slow our metabolism down, can damage our mitochondria and things of that nature. None of the drugs out there are really help build your mitochondria, which are the powerhouses of your cell. So let me go ahead and get into this thing. I'm going to give you a video pretty soon. But the questions that we always talk about is what is GLP-1? Because the goal of our weight loss and metabolic reset program is kind of centered around this particular enzyme, this particular hormone, actually, not an enzyme, hormone is GLP-1. It's glucagon-like polypeptide 1. Now, glucagon-like polypeptide 1 is activated by certain types of foods. And those are the foods that we want you to take in because the science has proved not only are they good for you as far as your micronutrient level, your machinery level, but your GLP-1 level. And the GLP-1 level, the reason we want that activated is does three basic things. Number one, it increases our satiety, meaning that we get full on lesser amounts of food. Number two, it decreases our cravings, which was a big thing for me. I had cravings for sweets, cakes, candies, potato chips, macaroni and cheese. I had cravings for all the refined carbohydrates, as a lot of us do. GLP-1 puts a stop on that. Okay. And then there is some question about it, some controversy about it as to whether or not it increases our metabolism and all that. I'm not real convinced of that. I hadn't really seen any good data. And what I promise to you is that I'm going to give you advice based upon good data. But why do I want to increase your satiety? Why do I want to decrease your cravings? Because as it turns out, when we basically have cravings, we eat a bag of potato chips and we're still hungry. Our glucose curve goes up and then it goes back down. And when it goes back down, it goes a little bit lower than our baseline. That's when the hunger kicks in. Every study out there shows that your hunger level comes when your glucose goes down to below baseline. And what happens is that refined carbohydrates do that routinely. And the second thing that happens is basically what we're taking in is that the refined carbohydrates that then make you hungrier for the next bite. So you never really, really get full. So what you're eventually doing is taking in more foods than you need to. All that leads to increasing amount of fat deposition. So what we want to do is have a product that reverses each one of those effects. And when we get that product, then it allows us to say, okay, fine, I'm not going to eat as much food. I'm full. My satiety is there. I'm full. But that's on a lesser amount of food. Now, the kicker to that is the science behind it is that you've got to have a certain number of calories every single day in order to survive. What we're doing is we're forcing your body to think that it's full before it reaches that number of calories that your body requires to survive for the day. Well, how's that possible then? How am I needing a certain X number of calories to live throughout the day, but you're saying I'm only taking in less than that? For instance, my body requires 2,500 calories a day. I routinely take in 1,000 calories a day. So theoretically, I shouldn't be surviving. My body requires 2,500. There's no ifs and buts about it. It's got to have 2,500 calories. If it doesn't get that, then it has to find alternatives. And the alternatives that the majority of us are struggling with is excess fat. Those are calories. That's our store. That's our storage of calories. Now, what happens if your normal weight don't have any fat and your body requires 2,000 calories a day and you're only giving it 1,000? Your body will still win. It says, I got to have that 2,000 calories, no matter if you don't have any fat. What will it do? It'll break down your muscle. Well, most of us here aren't worried about that, all right? Because we do have fat that our body needs to tap into. And that is our goal, all right? So just in case you were wondering about the physiology of it, that's it. If you don't have any fat to give, then then I'm not talking to you. But if you have fat that you need to get rid of, because we all do, because that fat is usually in the wrong location, and that fat creates a lot of other problems that I don't have time to get into today. That fat creates inflammation mostly. It creates a lot of problems in our intestinal tract. It kills our microbiome. It kills our mitochondria. A lot of other things that I can get into the mechanisms of, but just kind of trust me when I say having excess fat is not a good thing. It's not just a cosmetic thing. It is not a good thing metabolically. Okay. So that's why we want GLP-1 to be elevated because it leads to that particular story. GLP-1 does the things that allows us to get rid of the fat. Bottom line, full stop. Okay. The things that activate GLP-1 are the things that we're going to be talking about. That's what this program is. How can we get more GLP-1 activated? And then how can we do other things? Because GLP-1 is primarily the body's tool to get the fat and use the fat as an energy source. That's cool, but that's not all the problems that we have, is it? Some of us have dementia. Some of us have high blood pressure. Some of us have type 2 diabetes and pre-diabetes. Some of us actually have LDL cholesterol problems. So the overall goal is for us to take care of each one of those problems, not just to allow you to use your fat. GLP-1 does that. So The other foods that we're going to give you are the foods that, number one, activate the GLP-1. But the second and the most common food that we want you to really, really concentrate on is the fiber, because that fiber is that product that has that vacuum type effect once it gets into your body. And I'll explain that in just a second. That fiber and then that protein, the reason we've got to have the protein in there is that our body just can't build anything without the building blocks. You cannot build a brick house without bricks. Our body's whole structure, the muscle, the bone, everything is built upon those bricks, which is the protein. Okay. So the fiber basically takes care of the metabolic problems that we have, the high blood pressure, the dementia, the things that are related to insulin resistance. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and give you the answer right now because this is going to be an abbreviated talk. But the reason that fiber is able to do that is that we know, and this is what I want you to keep in the back of your mind. We know that insulin resistance is the core cause of most chronic diseases, including dementia, including brain fog, including hypertension, including sleep apnea, including diabetes, including cancer. We know, not all cancers, but we know that insulin resistance is a root cause. So you got to have something clear in your mind. What the hell is insulin resistance? Insulin resistance is when your body no longer listens to the insulin signal. Insulin is responsible for pushing glucose into the cells that need it. And what happens is it does that quite effectively over a period of time. But when you stimulate insulin all day throughout the day, the insulin doors on the fat cells and on the muscle cells don't open up. Let me clarify that. Your insulin responds to one thing primarily, and that's the level of glucose in your blood. If we were to eat normally and basically eat 1 or 2 meals a day, and glucose goes up appropriately and then comes back down, our insulin would go up and it would stay up for about 3 or 4 hours. Because the one mistake that people have thought is that my insulin goes up and my insulin comes back down. So they put their CGM monitor on. They say, "Oh yeah, I ate those potato chips. My glucose level went up." Well, no problem. I'm seeing it going back down within the next hour. That's not the problem. The problem is, what is insulin doing? Because all of the diseases that I just mentioned are not glucose problems. All those diseases that I just mentioned are insulin problems. The insulin problem with with the insulin staying up for 4 hours while the glucose is going back down, that insulin level says, I'm staying up and then I'll go back down once after that 4 hours. But what happens within that 4 hours? Well, you eat another meal. And you eat another meal, and that insulin level never gets a chance to come back down. And then what happens after another 4 hours? You eat another meal. And so all throughout the day, your insulin level is up. Your body says, I can't take that. I need some insulin rest. Remember, I said that we got to take out the trash of our body, and our body's trash doesn't get removed. Autophagy doesn't happen unless our insulin level is near zero. Just doesn't happen. So our bodies become insulin resistant. That leads to the hypertension, the problems with cancer, the things of that nature we just talked about. So the core issue here is not that the core issue is basically that we're taking in glucose and it's coming back down and the insulin is staying up high. All right. So what we've got to do is basically control that glucose spike. That was a long story, wasn't it? That long story basically says controlling that glucose spike means that something you got to take in can suck in that glucose. The most common thing that we've studied all of the past 75 years that nobody told you about is that the best thing that takes in glucose and sucks it in is fiber. It's fiber, and it's not necessarily the fiber you think. You're thinking fiber asparagus, right? You're thinking vegetables, like Mama said. Take. That's not right. I'm going to show you the video that shows that's not right. You're thinking salads, right? You're thinking cauliflower, all right? You're thinking all of the vegetables. Were you taking in enough vegetables, Doc? I got my fiber under control. Nope, you don't. Nope, you don't. I'm going to break it to you, and you're going to be surprised. Okay, so the types of fibers are insoluble fiber and soluble fiber. The type that you all have been taking in have been the insoluble fiber, the cauliflower, the broccoli, the asparagus, the peas, the green vegetables that you have on your plate. Those are the fibers that mama told you to take and you did, and you thought that they were causing the problem. They are good fibers. They're insoluble fibers. So what do? They clean the gut. They clean the colon. They do decrease the incidence of colon cancer. If you got a problem, a family history of colon cancer, that is what you need to take in. But that's not all you need to take in. We all need to take that in. But we need to also take in the other fibers that do a couple other things that I'll describe in a sec. So anyway, I'm going to go through these things and I'm going to get to this thing so we can get back to the real exercise. The answers to the questions today, GLP-1 is glucagon-like polypeptide 1. You guys know it as Wegovy, semaglutide, Mounjaro, tirzepatide. What I'm about to tell you about these drugs is going to blow your mind. But basically, these drugs are too potent. They're too strong. And so what we're going to be doing is to show you how eating the right foods, protein, fiber, and healthy fats will basically elevate your own GLP-1. I have a ton of studies in here that show that most people who are 50, 60, 70 pounds over their ideal body weight, are you? I don't know. Are you overweight or are you really, really overweight? If you are, your GLP-1 levels are suppressed. A lot of science behind that. I don't have time to tell you about it today, but trust me, we've done the studies that we've taken people just before they were going to bariatric surgery, measured their GLP-1 levels, and they were suppressed. So when your GLP-1 levels are low, what happens? You no longer have that satiety that we talked about. In other words, you don't feel full on small amounts of food. You're ravenous. You're eating all the time. All right. Number two, you're basically craving certain things. You're craving Cheetos and crackers and things of that night while you're watching the football game. You're craving those things. And then the other thing we talked about is ghrelin. I don't want to get into ghrelin, but your ghrelin levels are high, so it makes you feel hungry all the time. So when your GLP-1 levels are low, all of those things are going rampant. So if you're going to eat a lot, you're going to be gaining the fat. So we want our GLP-1 levels to be high. That's where we come from. That's where Mounjaro come from. They gave you super high doses so high that you got nauseated from it, doses so high that they talked about thyroid cancer from it, doses so high that you got Ozempic face from it, and you lost significant amount of muscle mass. The dose was too high. But what if I was to tell you that I could give you something that just makes your low level of GLP-1 come back up to normal and maybe even come back up to a little bit higher? The data is clear now. We do certain things with protein and fiber. We not only can raise our GLP-1 back to normal, controlling our weight, controlling all the other things that we talked about, but actually when we take in more fiber, more of the right type of fiber, when we're taking more fiber, we're basically making that GLP-1 go even higher. All right. So anyway, the three main functions of GLP-1 we already talked about, okay? The foods that activate GLP-1, protein first. Take your protein first. You got to get the protein in because you got to have the building blocks in order to build the structures that depend upon protein, which are almost all the fat-free mass, with the exception of water. Water is fat-free mass too, but we don't count water. Okay. How much fiber do we consume each day? This I got to address because I used to tell you, and there's a lot of people that tell you, but it's old school data that you have to have 25 to 38 grams of fiber every single day. Well, I was sort of right, but sort of wrong. But I want to give you the good, honest, and the legitimate. If you can get 40, 50, 60 grams of fiber in every day, chances are you're going to get a diverse amount of fiber if you can take in that much fiber a day. Because if you're taking in the type of fiber like has inulin and acacia, and you're doing that 4 or 5 times a day, you're getting a lot of gas, and you're just not going to do it. You're just not going to do it. But if you're taking in the glucomannan, the locust bean gum, the pectin fibers, the beta fibers, if you're taking in those type of fibers, you're not going to get much gas. And the data again is clear. The more fiber you take in, you cannot overdose over fiber. So, what did I just say? Protein first, get your protein in, take your fiber in. You can take those things together if you like to, but get those things in, okay? And those will strongly activate your GLP-1. I'm going to show you some examples. All right. Let me see if I can go through this. This is what Andrew is going to talk about a little bit later, muscle strength and all that stuff. I won't go over the exercise part. I'm going to send her these slides and let her just go over some of this stuff. But I want to get to one area. This is where your GLP-1 cells live in your intestinal tract. Now they're all over the body, but the majority, the vast majority that are active in our body are in our gut. And so we've got to do things that go in our gut in order to activate these GLP-1 cells. You got GLP-1 receptors in your brain, you got them in your heart, you got them all over the place. But the ones that we've got control over are in our gut. So that's where the protein and the fiber actually activates these things. Protein first activates it in the small bowel. Fiber activates it lower down in the colon area. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and let's see if I can get to this one video if it comes up. I may have to come back out. This is one of the things that I showed you before, how fiber sucks in LDL cholesterol. I won't go over that again, but let me see if oh, my slides here. Y'all can't see it on yours, but I can see it on mine. My slide is not advancing. Let me see. Let me see. My computer is frozen up. Just I'm gonna give it a second. In the meantime, go ahead and put some other things in the question and answer. Morbid obese, they say, yes. Is there a vitamin that is high in fiber? No, vitamins are different. Vitamins are those minerals and those nutrients that are just basically sort of like the oil and all that in the car, or the transmission fluid. Vitamins and minerals are nutrients in that way. They don't contain, as far as I know, fiber. I did have a patient the other day that says, listen, they're taking gummy vitamins and they're taking gummy fiber. I had to stop her that because again, those types of fibers, the one thing that I'm gonna get to in just a second, let me just go ahead and stop this because I'm gonna force to quit, then I'm gonna come back on. One of the things that um that that they had so many additives in this in the gummy fibers that is just not what we want to do. All right, so let me see if I can go back and it's opening back up again. Let me see if I can share it. And all you guys who've been here before, you'll know that I'm not technically that I am technically challenged, but I'm okay with that. Let me come back to the Zoom. Let me go back to get where it says share. Anybody? Go back here, share, and then I'm going to come back to the PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so anyway, go back to where we were. Where were we? All right, so these are some of the studies no, these are studies about muscle mass. Let me not bore you with this. Again, this is our experts area. The um, all these let me go ahead. Just find this, I mean, end the show and just find the slide here. Okay, let's go in here. I think I put it in here. So this is just a study. I'm just going to, these are studies that I want y'all to take a look at. This study is food order has a significant impact on postprandial glucose and insulin levels. I don't want you to become scientists and understand all this, but this is why we talk about the protein first, because the studies basically show that, let me just kind of blow it up a little bit. Um, The reduced insulin excursion observed in this experimental setting suggests that this meal pattern may improve insulin sensitivity. So we're talking about the protein and the carbohydrates last. But when they're talking about carbohydrates, they're talking about the carbohydrates that are not fiber carbohydrates, okay? Because remember, fiber is a carbohydrate, correct? All right. So this is what we finally know the truth about fiber metabolism and insulin resistance. Let me see if I can. Let me see if that's anything. No. Let me just show you this for a second. This is something. Alrighty, so this is what I'm gonna show. What I did was an experiment. And that experiment was I put on my continuous glucose monitor for a period of 2 weeks. And during that 2 week period of time, when I took in cheeseburgers, fries, and a shake, and I consistently took in the same thing. When I took in the cheeseburger, which has bread on it, when I took in the shake and I took in the fries, my glucose level spiked up. And I knew that it was going to spike, which it always does. So I knew that that was going to happen. And so basically, I then started doing this fiber thing first, taking in certain types of fibers. And as I was taking in these fibers, then I monitored my glucose level and it didn't spike up. The bottom line is that that study is a study of one. That's me. And I encourage you all to do the same thing. But if you have the money to get a continuous glucose monitor, which is a cool thing to figure out if this works for you or not. But what it shows is that as long as I kept my glucose level in the green, I'll show you here. Um, the green right here, as long as the glucose levels in the green, no matter what I ate, then basically I was doing okay. But every time I would eat a cheeseburger, fries, and chocolate shake, and that was the test meal, because I just wanted to be consistent throughout this particular study. I've done several studies with this, but every time I ate a cheeseburger, fries, and a chocolate shake without taking the fiber first, my blood glucose went up to almost 200. When I took the fiber first, or took the fiber with that, not the salad, but with some guar gum, and I took some locust bean gum and some pectin fibers and some beta glucans and some oat fiber, combination of all those things. When I took that, the cheeseburger, French fries didn't change this curve. I stayed within the green. The point being, as long as your glucose level is within the green, that means your insulin level is normal. All right. Your insulin level is normal, you decrease the chances of getting insulin resistance. You decrease the chance of getting insulin resistance, then you're going to basically win the disease process, all the chronic disease process that we mentioned about insulin resistance. Okay. Um, I don't know. Maybe I let me just make sure that I got the right one, but I don't know if I can put this in here. Maybe not. So anyway, we're gonna bring Andrea back in just a second, but in the meantime, just kind of let you know what I was at 205 pounds. This was me, and this is me again, 205 pounds, and this is me. uh, when I was trying to suck it in. You know how guys, when they take a picture and they want to show you their body, I wanted to suck it in. And this is the best I could do to suck it in. So this was me a few years back before I started this protocol. And then this is me, not this morning. I just took it the other morning, but that's my weight then. I was 205 then. I'm 167 at that weight. Okay, don't pay attention to the feet. And then this is me today. And this is me sucking it in again. All right. And so sucking it in here, not sucking it in here, but you kind of get the drift. This is me sucking it in here at 205, and this is me sucking it in at 167. So this is that study of one. Well, this is just a picture of the webinar. Let me see if I can. I'm going to show you this thing, and then I'm going to finish up and let Andrea take over. But I got to find this one thing because I think it's good for you to see. Let me see if I go to wherever I put it. I'm going to my Finder and my downloads. Let me try to open that one. All right, let's see if I can. I think everybody can see that, but a lot of things are in the way. Let me get some things out the way. This is just 5 minutes. Take your time on it.
All right, let's talk about fiber. And I know what you're probably thinking. I've read this all before, but I promise you, the real story behind fiber is one of the biggest, most overlooked secrets in all of modern health. So let's get right into it. Let's start with a number that should just stop you in your tracks. 5%. That's it. That is the tiny, tiny fraction of Americans who actually manage to get the recommended daily amount of fiber. That means 95% of us are falling short. But you know what? That's not even the most important part of this story. Because here's the real question. What if you could be in that top 5%, hitting your fiber goals every single day, and still be missing out on the one thing that truly matters for your metabolic health? This is the core idea we're going to unpack today. And honestly, the answer might just change the way you look at food forever. Now, we all know the basics, right? We've heard it a million times. Not enough fiber is tied to some really serious stuff. Heart disease, diabetes, trouble with weight, gut problems, the whole list. This isn't new, this is square one. But this is also where most of the advice stops, and it's exactly where our deep dive begins. This brings us to a huge point, the healthy misconception. We're about to challenge one of the most fundamental beliefs in the health world. You think that giant salad you're eating for lunch has you all covered? Well, let's take a much closer look. For years, maybe decades, the advice has been so simple. Just eat more vegetables, right? Have a salad, get those leafy greens full of cellulose, and you're good to go. That's the story we've all been told. You're doing the healthy thing, so your bases must be covered. Well, then you read a quote like this from the research, and it's like a lightning bolt. It just flat out says that the idea that your high cellulose veggies, your spinach, your kale, are going to guarantee metabolic health is just incorrect. So why? What's going on here? Well, it's because not all fiber is created equal. The reason is pretty simple when you see it laid out like this. Different fibers have completely different jobs. It's like having two different specialists. On one side, you've got fibers that are amazing for what we'll call bowel comfort. Keeping you regular, adding bulk, all good things. But on the other side, you have a totally separate class of fibers that are responsible for your metabolic health. These are the heavy lifters, the ones that actually manage your blood sugar, your cholesterol, and your insulin. The fiber in your salad is doing job number one, but it's not really built for job number two. So let's make this really easy to understand. Let's frame it as a tale of three different fibers. Think of them as three players on a team, each with a very specific and very different job to do inside your body. Okay, let's meet the team. First up, you have the bulkers. This is that insoluble fiber like cellulose from leafy greens. Their main job, keeping things moving. Then you have the gut gardeners. These are fermentable fibers that feed your good gut bacteria and help you feel full, super important. But the real superstars of our story today are the metabolic managers. These are the viscous gel-forming fibers that can actually step in and take direct control of your glucose and cholesterol levels. And let me be really clear here. The bulkers and the gut gardeners are absolutely essential. They're the support staff of the team. You need them. But when it comes to fighting the root causes of metabolic problems, like insulin resistance, they just aren't the ones on the front lines. They don't have the specific tools to block sugar absorption or to directly pull cholesterol out of your system. And that brings us to our main event, the metabolic powerhouses. These are the fibers that do that heavy lifting I was talking about. They are the ones that are designed to directly get involved in your body's most important metabolic processes. So let's meet these power players. You've got glucomannan, which is the absolute king of controlling glucose spikes because it forms this incredibly thick gel. You've got beta glucan. You've probably heard of it from oats. It's a double threat for both glucose and cholesterol. And then you have guar gum and locust bean gum. These two are amazing. They form a physical barrier to slow down sugar, and they are incredibly good at grabbing onto cholesterol and getting it out of your body. Let's just focus on glucomannan for a second. Its superpower is its viscosity. That's just a fancy word for how thick of a gel it can form. Inside you, it creates this gel so thick that it basically causes a traffic jam for carbs, dramatically slowing down how fast sugar can get into your bloodstream. It is one of the most powerful tools out there for flattening those glucose spikes after a meal. And beta glucan, it's a triple threat. First, yeah, it forms a gel to slow down sugar, just like glucomannan. But second, and this is genius, it binds onto bile acids. Now, your body makes bile from cholesterol. So when beta glucan takes the bile away, your body has to pull the bad LDL cholesterol out of your blood to make more. And third, it still does the job of a gut gardener, feeding your microbiome, which helps you feel fuller, longer. And look, this isn't just theory. This is backed by solid clinical data. We're talking about significant proven reductions in LDL, the bad cholesterol, reductions of up to 20%. These are not small changes. This is a powerful natural intervention driven by these very specific types of fiber. Okay, so these fibers are incredible. They're powerful. They directly target some of the biggest health challenges we have today, which kind of leads to a very obvious question. Where are they? And this brings us to the modern diet dilemma. I mean, this is what you're thinking, right? This is great. I'll just go to the grocery store and fill my cart. But as you are about to find out, it's really not that easy. And here's the kicker. Glucomannan, it comes from konjac root, which you pretty much only find in things like shirataki noodles. Locust bean gum, that's from the seeds of a carob tree, not exactly on aisle 5. And even the most familiar one, beta-glucan, you'd have to eat about 1.5 cups of oatmeal every single day to get a real therapeutic cholesterol-lowering effect. The reality is, these metabolic powerhouses are almost completely missing from our modern diet. And the research spells it out for us. It basically says that trying to get enough of these potent, life-changing fibers from the way we normally eat today is, well, it's difficult, if not impossible. We have effectively engineered the most helpful fibers right out of our food supply. So all of this leaves us with one final, incredibly urgent question. We know what the problem is. We've identified the solution. This amazing team of diverse fibers, especially these metabolic managers, we know they work. So if the very best tools for our health are missing from our food, how in the world are we supposed to get them back into our lives?
All right. So basically that just talks about those fibers and those the most important part of those viscous fibers is, again, I'm going to repeat it one more time just to make sure it sits on with it, that it lowers your glucose levels so that then lowers your insulin levels and you don't become insulin resistant. Okay. So I'm going to leave you with that. I have everybody's email address. I can get y'all some more information on the fibers, and even Andrea can as well. So we have your email addresses. We can kind of get right you guys tomorrow. But I want Andrea to come back today so she can finish up our workout so we can get started today. And we can basically just get another 10 to 15 minutes of exercise. And now I'm going to see how many people drop off because this will let me know whether you're dedicated or not. I want to see you guys back next week. So, Andrea, if you're on here, you can come back on and we can kind of get them started. Okay?
Well, hey, Dr. Titus, I'm here. We don't want anybody to drop off. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So before we lose anybody, first of all, Andrea Riggs here. I've been doing this for 20 years, ladies. I've been working with doctors like Dr. Titus who get you guys in the right strategy of what we can do to actually live our best lives. So before you guys go anywhere, I want you guys to to follow me on Instagram. That way I can keep up with you guys. So my Instagram, if I may, is at GT Body Beautiful. Okay. I'm going to drop that in the chat at GT Body Beautiful. So go on IG, follow me. That way you can get this workout in. And what we're going to do is focus on the component of fitness, because fitness is where we actually build muscle. Dr. Titus alluded to it earlier, sarcopenia. Is that how you pronounce that word, that fancy word, sarcopenia?
That's
and what
it.
that simply means is, ladies and gentlemen, you got to have muscle. You got to build muscle to burn fat. And so if I can get you guys to understand that your success with your long-term health and fitness is all about your ability to do a bunch of things, a healthy lifestyle, the nutrition that Dr. Titus is talking about with fibers and fitness. So what I'm going to show you today is a quick at-home workout that you can do twice a week and really focuses on your total body. So everybody ready? You ready, Dr. Titus? You working out like that? You gonna work out in your nice shirt today?
I'm ready, but I'm gonna go ahead and give the whole thing to you. So I'm gonna turn my video off.
Okay,
This is you
okay,
now.
perfect. So guys, here's the thing. Again, follow me at GT Body Beautiful. GetBodyBeautiful.com, Andrea Riggs, and I'll drop you some more of these workouts. But what we're gonna do is a real quick total body workout today. And when I say total body, we're just gonna try to go upper body. Everybody like those sexy arms, midsection, and legs. And so this is a quick 10-minute workout. I'll show it to you, and then we're just going to rinse and repeat, okay? So what I want you guys to do when you're at home, if you have some hand weights, anybody got some hand weights? Go ahead and grab your hand weights. If you don't have hand weights, what I want you to do is ball your fist up really tight. What we're trying to do is create some resistance. So either ball those fists really tight, right? Or grab your hand weights, okay? And so the first exercise we're going to do is called a overhead press, okay? And what this is going to do is work your total body. So I want you to grab those weights or ball your fists really tight. I want you to get up. I want you to stand up. I want you to stand strong. I want you to pull that belly button in. And see, Dr. Titus has gotten all svelte and sexy on us, right? So he don't have no belly no more. But I want you to pull that belly button in, hold these weights really tight, or ball your fist. And I want you to, we're going to take a straight up press, touch it at the top. And now I want you to give me a set of 12. You guys ready? We're going to do this with some cadence. Ready? And let's go. So we got 1, 2, there you go. 3, good job. 4, just like Dr. Titus. 5, 6, there you go. And all you're doing is pressing it straight up. I want you to keep your belly button nice and tight. Press it above your head. There you go. Give me a few more. How are we doing over there? Up. We're going to get to 12. And when you get to 12, give me 5 more. 4, 3. Come on, Dr. Titus. 2. And I want you to hold it straight above your head. Hold it straight above your head. This is where I get to talk to you, okay? So you're pressing it straight up. What you're doing is we're working multiple muscle groups at the time. You're holding your core really tight. You got your shoulders moving. You're working your back. No, Dr. Titus. Keep that weight up.
Oh, Lord.
And that's our press, okay? So we got that. So everybody just shake it out a little bit. We doing okay? We're going to build on that. So we did our upper body. Now we're going to worry about our midsection, okay? When we think about a nice midsection, we're not always doing sit-ups. We're doing things with our legs and our knees. So what I want you to do this time is I want you to just take those weights and pull your knee up. Now, if you can't get your knee up all the way, I want you to stand up, and I want you to just march in place. Get that leg up as high as you can. High as you can. High as you can. High as you can. So we're going to do a set of 12 of those. What you think? You ready, Dr. Titus? What we're going to do is knees are up, 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 And what we're doing is we're really working on our core. This is how we keep those abs nice and flat, okay? Now, if you're at home and you can't stand, you can also do this from a chair position. You can actually be seated in the seated position and then just lift your knee up one by one, just like that. There you go. I want you guys to keep that up for 12. There you go. And hopefully by now, your heart rate is coming up. There you go. Give me a few more of those. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And stop and shake it out. All right. So that's exercise number 2, right? So we have our press. That's number 1. Number 2 is our knee raises, our leg knee lifts. Number 2. All right. You ready for exercise number 3? You ready? Number 3. So all we're going to do is from our standing position. It's pretty easy. All we're going to do is act like we're sitting down and then just come right back up. Act like you're sitting down as low as you can go and come back up. And come on back up. There you go. So you're going to go low and up. And when you're coming up, I want you to squeeze your glutes. I want you to suck that belly button in. Suck that belly button in. Squeeze your glutes. Because again, the goal here is to make sure we're building muscle, because muscle is what actually burns fat. So give me 12 of those. You got it? Easy, easy stuff, right? So listen, guys, the goal is to make sure you're doing exercises that you can do at home without leaving your home. So we got Dr. Titus over here doing his, Dr. Titus is doing his lower level squats. How you doing, Doc? How you doing over there? You doing good. All right, let's clap it up for Dr. Titus. He's got 5 more. And guess what? Now we're going to pull it all together. What we just did was really our basic at-home total workout set, okay? So now that you guys have done it in 3 pieces, I'm going to show it to you in 1 piece, because now you guys are ready to do the whole thing at once. So again, if you have hand weights, grab them. If not, ball those fists up as tight as you can, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to create resistance. So either grab your hand weights or you can ball your fist up, okay? Everybody ready? So I'm going to show you the exercise all together. So what we did is this. We did our squat, press, knee up, knee up. Everybody got it? Drop it down, okay? We did this already. You guys already did this, okay? So let me show you. So you're going to do squat, press, knee up, knee up. That's 1. And then drop them to your side. Now the question, ladies and gentlemen, is can we get 12 of these? Can we do these 12 of these? And the key here, everybody shake their head. Yes, we can do 12 of these. And the key here is to not do them fast. We want to do it slow. We want to maximize our breathing. We want to pull our belly button in. We want to know that we're doing a total body workout. And I want you guys to know that it's not so much about quality. It's not so much about quantity. It's about quality. So what we just broke down was a total body workout set of compound exercises. Compound meaning that we're going to do a simple movement that works all of your major muscle groups from head to toe. It's very simple to do. And if I could teach you guys and encourage you guys to do this 12 exercise set twice a week, and we're going to add to it and progress as we get better, as we actually work on our nutrition, as we actually take in our fibers and our proteins. We put all this stuff together. I guarantee you 2026 is going to be your best body year. So you guys ready? You ready? All right, let's do it. We're going to do this one by one. We're going to do 12 of these, and I know you can do it because you just did it, okay? So grab your weights. Number 1. So I want you to squat, shoulders back, press it above your head, hold it there. Now give me one leg up, one leg up. Now drop these weights right by your side again. Take a deep breath. Bring those weights right to your shoulders again. Feet are wide. We're going to do it again. We're on number 2. You ready? Nice and slow down. Come on up. Hold it above. Knee up. Knee up. Hold it down. Blow it out. Get yourself steady and in position again. Bring the weights by your shoulders. We're on number 3. Squat. Press it out. Hold it. Bring that right knee up. Left knee up. Arms are down. Shake it out. Get yourself positioned and ready. Get back in your squat position. Come on down. Squat, press it up. Knee up. Knee up. Bring it down. Relax and shake it out. Breathe, breathe, breathe. If you need to put in a few head rotations, whatever you need to do to relax yourself. Because again, it's about taking the time to get through this and doing it so that you can take better care of yourself. So now we're back to our start position. We're down. Straight up. Press it out. Knee up. Knee up. Arms are down. Shake it out a little. Blow it out. Back down. I'm gonna walk you through this, okay? So Dr. Titus, go down for me one time. Let's do this with Dr. Titus. We're on number 5, okay? And I'm gonna walk you through this, okay? So Dr. Titus.
I thought we were on number 10.
Oh no, see, that's what I do. I don't count well. We always try to mess up the count. Is that what we on? 5, 10? Ladies, what are we on? What are we on? Okay, I'm gonna give you 7, okay? 3 more. Right. 3 more, right? All right. 3 more, 3 more, 3 more. Okay, so Dr. Titus, and if you don't have those weights at home, like I said, just ball your fist up. So you're gonna drop it low. Get in your start position right here. Stay there, Dr. Titus. So it's a total body. So we're working that lower body. Shoulders are back. Belly button in. Now press it up. Take it all the way up. Hold it there. We're still working total body. Now I want you to bring that knee up. Bring that knee up. So not only are we engaging our lower body, our upper body, now we are hitting those abs. And so when I say total body, ladies and gentlemen, total body. Now, drop them to the side. Breathe. Shake it out. You got 2 more, 2 more. Give me these last 2. So down. Press it up. We got our arms tight. We got our belly button in. We're pulling those abs in. We're holding that weight tight. Taking a deep breath. Remembering that this is what we're doing to build muscle. That's the key. Last one. Last one. Take it down. Hold it. Pull it straight up. 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 Shake it out.
That's good.
Good job. And so again, this is all about total body. Is anybody have any questions?
That was good. Let me catch my air.
You gotta catch your breath.
Yeah.
Catch your breath, catch your breath, catch your breath.
All right. All right. Is there a website?
Yeah, so that's what we got, ladies and gentlemen. I want you guys to understand that the key to our success is really the total sum of everything. Get Body Beautiful, you know, it's a formula, like I always say, Dr. Titus. Lifestyle, nutrition, fitness. Let's do all of it. Let's work together. Let's do it all. Let's do it.
So Andrew, can you go ahead and put that that information about yourself in the chat? Because
Yes, yes, I'll do that.
people are
Um,
asking, where can I get these exercises that are really needed, or a video with all the examples of the exercises. We're going to be doing these every week. So, but during the week, what you're going to be doing is, like Andrea suggested, you're going to do these during the week as well. Saturday is where we're going to kind of fine tune things and give you the information. But we're going to be doing these during the week along with a little bit of knowledge. So a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of movement, we're going to take control back of our lives.
And
Okay. And
here's the thing, you know, you got to really look at this is what you got to be doing at least 2 times a week. You need to really focus on some muscle strength training exercises because the key here is, you know, Dr. Titus is talking about protein building blocks, right? Because we're trying to build muscle. And this is what you got to do to make your body more efficient at being able to burn fat. So resistance training, total body, 2 times a week. And so I'm dropping my IG. If you follow me on IG, I'll be able to send you information, or please email me. So either email me info@getbodybeautiful.com. There's a couple ways to get in contact with me. Info@getbodybeautiful.com. You can hit me on IG at GTBodyBeautiful. And if you really want to get some one-on-one, you can always text me. I'm gonna put my cell phone. We're a small, intimate group. We try to get here together. You guys, if somebody needs to text me directly, I'll make sure you get the tools that you need for success. And the main tool is making sure you get here every week with Dr. Titus, because between our nutritional program that we can support you with, you know, let's get out of these medical GLP-1s and let's make our body naturally reset itself the way it needs to be. So let's get our nutrition right. Let's get that fiber. Let's get that protein. Let's get that fitness. Let's do it together. And this is a community where we're going to do it as we get ready for 2020, 26.
I love your energy. I love your energy. So what we're going to do is basically, uh, you can put your email and address in there. I'll send everybody the information, or I'll send it to Andrea, and she'll send you not only her information, but also the information about the fiber as well. All righty.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, you know what we'll do, Dr. Titus? I'll put together a little video. We can send it out, have all of our links so that they'll have the at-home workout, and then they'll have the link to be able to get the nutritional products to support them along the way. And we're just gonna do this together. I promise if we do it together, we're gonna all look great. And then we're gonna go find you, Dr. Titus. We're gonna celebrate in Puerto Rico or something. Where are we gonna celebrate at? You know,
Yeah.
we're gonna do a challenge. By the time
Right.
January starts, we're kind of revving up. We're trying to get you guys as much information as we can, because when we start the challenge, we're going to say, hey, starting today, we need everybody on this nutritional program. We need everybody logged into the fitness. And then we're going to track you guys for 6 weeks, and we're going to see, because we don't want Dr. Titus to be one of one, right? He's one case study. We want everybody on this call to be a part of our success story. So we're going to make it happen.
Okay, and since it's the giving season, I'm going to be giving away some other things as well. I had to stop the scale for a little while because I had to give my staff Christmas bonuses coming up. So, but we'll begin that as well. Now, one of the things I want you all to do is to bring a friend or a family member. So when you come next time, you bring a friend or family member. You say, "Hey, I bought a friend or family member here," and basically you'll be then eligible for the new surprising gift that I have to give out. Okay. All righty. Well, I don't think there's any other questions. I think everybody's giving me their stuff. I love it, guys. I love your participation. I love your enthusiasm. And we're going to do this week by week. And before you know it, you all will be able to show me your before and afters, as well as your numbers, your cholesterol, your glucose, your levels, your PCOS. The numbers are going to get better as time goes on. And we're going to make sure of that. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate it. And we will see you next week. And y'all have a blessed weekend. Take care. Andrea, take care. All
All
right.
right. We'll catch up with you later. Have a great day.
Bye bye.